Hi guys, welcome to my YouTube channel. Welcome to our Scala lessons. Today we're going on with our Scala lessons, starting lesson 6. So far, as you remember, we have completed 5 lessons, and today, right now, we'll start with lesson 6. I have to start right away. As you remember, we are using ECLIPSE IDE environment for presenting you these Scala lessons, and starting from Scala 46. Okay, I have to show you examples with arrays. In fact, so I define my list, an array, so it's to include 4 members, 1, 2, 3, 4, and within this code snippet, I'd like to print out all array members, and here I'd like to sum all members, and after that I'd like to print out like this, and by means of this code snippet I'd like to find out maximum number, and in order to use that, in order to find out it, I have to repeat this for all members of this array, and let's go one by one. By using a for loop, just I can find out, I can print out all members of this array. In fact, so I assigned x, so it's to be a member of my list, and it's repeated 4 times. And each time x will be printed, and after this curly bracket I define here a total in order to sum up all elements. The total is initialized as 0, and here I construct a for loop once again. Just look here, length is the length of this array. In fact, starting from 0 to 1, 0, 1, 2, 3. That means 4 is the length, and length minus 1, that's to say 3, is our upper limit for stopping summing up. And each time I have to sum, I have to add this member with index I to the total count, and this is repeated 4 times in fact, and after that I obtain the total added numbers of members, and by means of this print line method I easily print out the total members. This is the explanation. How about how to find out the largest member, the largest element, that's to say a maximum element. So I assign the first element with index 0 as maximum number. This is an assumption, and I construct the same for loop once again, starting from from 1 up to length minus 1 once again, because we have already used the first element with index 1, index 0, and after that I make a comparison here in order to find out whether the next element is greater than the previous one or not. So my list I, if my list I is greater than max, the previous one, so just replace it. Max will be the next one. My max is going to be assigned as my list with index I. So after repeating 4 times this structure, okay, with within curly brackets, and we obtain the maximum value, which one of it, and I simply print out here, and let's make it run. Okay, at first I simply print out all members 1.9, 2.9, 3 point, and this is the sum. Okay, and this is the maximum value. Just have a look. 3.5 is the maximum value. Okay, correct. Okay, how about the next Scala snippet? So far so good. Okay, in this example, I'd like to show you two-dimensional arrays and an example for that. Okay, I here define my matrix variable so as to be 3, 3. That's to say, it will include 9 members, 9 elements. The keyword is of them, and in the brackets integer. And so, in order to build a matrix construction, a matrix structure, we have to use nested for example, for this purpose. One is for repeating the rows, and one is for repeating for the columns. So, for each loop turn, I assign my matrix with index I and j, so it's to be repeated by j, and when it is repeated 9 times, so we have already built a matrix. And how to print out, it's easy. We can use the same structure for this one also, and for nested for once again, and this time instead of just stating the indexed element, I use that index element in order to print out by means of this print method, and after that I leave an empty line. Okay, you can see only one matrix structure, because we have already built the matrix, but we have not printed yet. And after that we printed the members of this matrix structure. How about 48? In this case, we can create arrays with range. I would like to show you two examples. One is starting from 10 up to 20, increasing 2 by 2. And how about the next one? My list second. It's gonna be starting from 10 up to 20, and there is no increasing value, so the default value is 1 by 1. It's gonna be increased 1 by 1, and after that we have to print out by using this structure. So for loop we'll do that, and x is gonna be used for each members of my list first, and after within these brackets, within these curly brackets, print method will be repeated for printing x, and after that I leave an empty line here. This time I'd like to print out the next list, my list 2, and I repeat the same structure once again. At first we will obtain two lists starting from 10 up to 20, and once again let's make it run and see the result. Okay, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20 is not included because upper limit will not be included within these arrays and within this list, and the other will be increased 1 by 1 up to 20. So in this case there is 10 elements. There are 5 elements here. How about 49? 49 here, I'd like to show you some examples for Scala collections. Collections means data structures, in fact. So we can see list, tuples, options, and maps as Scala data structures here. So I here define a fruit variable so as to include apples, oranges, and pears, etc., and another variable so as to be empty, nil. That means has no elements, has no members, and head of fruits. This is the header for printing fruit.head. So I here recall head method. Head method just obtains the first member of that relevant list, and will get it. And how about tail? Tail will find out the next last members, and I here introduce you another method here, is empty, and is empty is a comparison, a logical comparison. In fact, just compares whether it's a member of that list or not, and if it is not list, it decides like this, and okay, just apples will be the first, okay, head, and oranges and pears will be the tails, or the tailing members. And how about this one? This comparison, fruit is empty. No, it's not empty, so the result will be false. How about nums? Num is empty. Yes, it's empty, so the result of this logical statement will true. And how about next one, 50? So I'd like to show you how to concatenate lists. I here define a list that's gonna be have 3 members, and each member will be apples string, and how about this one? After filling the list, I here print out that list, and here I define another nums. Okay, this time it's not for fruits, it's just for numbers, figures, and 2 will be repeated 10 times. This is translated like this, and it's gonna be filled within a list. And here I'd like to print out that list, including numbers, 10 numbers, 2 is repeated 10 times. Okay, fruit will be including apples, because I have preferred to repeat it 3 times. And num variable, it's also a list including 10 members. Each of them is num. I use this method and this method, okay, with parameters this one, and with parameters that one. This is string, this is number. About 51st, we're going on with collections, concatenating lists. This time I define 2 lists, fruit first, fruit second, and here I concatenate 2 lists. In order to concatenate 2 lists, I have to use this structure, this method, this format, and after that I obtain a concatenated list, such as fruit, simply fruit, and here I print it out. And how about to use set dot 3 semicolons? This is another way to concatenate a list. In fact, just we can use this one also. Fruit first dot 3 concatenates, and after concatenating I print out this one. And also just we can concatenate by using concat, and the first as argument and the second as argument. And just I'd like to run this code and to show you. Okay, this is the title. Okay, apples, oranges, pears, and mangoes and banana. And by using this structure, okay, this time it's started with string the second, this second, okay, mango, banana, and after that apples, oranges, and pears will be concatenated to the second list. And here just it's another way to concatenate to arrays. And how about the next one? We're going on with arrays. and I define two variables. One is empty and the other will be including members of fruits, and fruit.head will give apples. Okay, fruit tail will give oranges and pears. How about to decide on whether it is empty or not? In order to find out this, we have to use isEmpty method, and isEmpty will give a result of false for this statement, and for this one, for nums, it's gonna give a true result, because it's in fact it's nil, it's empty. So the result of this interrogation, this inquiry, will result a good a true result. Okay, just like I said, false and true. How about 53? This time I'd like to tabulate by using some formula, some functional constructions. I here define I here tabulate a list with 5 members up to 6, and each time within this framework, each time it's going to be multiplied by itself, so it will result squares of numbers, and after that I'd like to print out a squares list, and this time I'd like to multiply members by using this notation: tabulate first argument, second argument, and it's gonna be multiplied with the first argument and the second argument, and after that it's gonna be multiplied, it's gonna be printed, the multiplication. Okay, let me show you the run code. Okay, starting from first up to 5, excluding 6, including 5, will give the squares of the numbers. And how about list, multiplication list? In this case, starting from the very first element, the next time it's going to be multiplied this one, and that one. Okay, it's repeated 1, 2, 3, 4 times. This is another example for multiplication and list.tabulate method. It can be used for such a purpose. Here I define this time as a set of apples, oranges and pears, and in Scala, sets are described by this structure. Okay, just you can see, and we can inquire for head of this set, in fact, and tail of this set, and we can inquire the members situation for both sets, and as a result this inquiry will give a true result for this one, and this one false, because it's already contains some members. However, num set will include no members, does not include any member, so it's gonna give a true logic, true result. Okay, head of fruit, apples, and the other is also a set, oranges and pears, false and true, just I said just before. We're going on with our next structures, tabulating as function. Here just I'd like to show you a reverse method here. Just before reversing this fruit array, just I'd like to print out the original form, and after that fruit.reverse will give the reverse order of this array, in fact. And when we run this one, okay, apples, oranges, pears, and after reversing the order, pears, oranges and apples will be printed out in reverse order. So we're going on with 56. Here I'd like to find out maximum and minimum members of this array. So it's easy to find out. Just you have to recall number.min or number.max method. So it automatically finds which one of them is a maximum or minimum members. Okay, 5 is minimum and 45 will be maximum, and that's all. And 45. And how about 57? Here I'd like to find out the same value in sets, same values or common values, other saying. We have two sets. One set includes these members, okay, and how about the next one, num2, is gonna have these members. However, when we look at, we can see that some members are common, some members are same. So in order to find out automatically by means of a software, we have to construct such a instruction in such a format. Number first dot and number second will find out common members, other saying the ones that are the same in both arrays. Okay, this is another saying, dot intersect. This is gonna find out once again. So the result for both print methods will be the same. It's gonna be 9 and 20. 9 and 20. 9 and 20. Okay. And how about 58? 58. Here I'd like to present you maps data structures. When we talk about maps, we have to think that one is key and one is value. This is a motto for that. Maps will include keys and values so as to corresponds to each other. When we look at here, red is our key and another azure and Perlo is keys. And how about value or data? This is the value, a hexadecimal value, another saying, this one and this one. So this is three elements of map. And I here define another nums map here. And this is empty, in fact, because it has no members. And for the first one, for colors one, I would like to print out colors.keys. This keyword just prints out the keys. That means the first ones, or red, and values of the colors. Okay, this is explanation, phrasing, and colors dot values. It's gonna print out these hexadecimal values. So after we run this one, just we can see here numbers, names of colors, and corresponding hexadecimal values. And how about this one? Just we can use isEmpty method in order to find out whether it is empty or not. The result for this one will give false because it's not empty. However, this one is empty. So as a result of this inquiry, will give a true result. In fact, let's make it run. Okay, keys in colors. Okay, it includes in a set red, azure, and Perlo. How about the other colors. So default values iterable, it's the definition for that. Three of them are values corresponding to this colors map structure. Is empty? No, false. It is not empty. Num is empty. Yes, it's empty. So the result, logical result, will give a true. Okay. How about 59? 59. I here I'd like to concatenate two map structure. Colors first map will include 1, 2, 3 members, keys and values. As you remember, key and value. This is repeated for the other members. And how about colors the second? It's gonna have some keys and values, and 3. One, I see some are repeated. So we have to find out concatenated colors sets, color maps in fact. So colors will be assigned as colors first, concatenate and colors second. So as a resultant variable, colors will include concatenated maps. Okay, and however, just we can use this one. This is another option. This is another example, and I simply print out by using this print line method. Okay, this is the explanation. Map blue, azure, peru, yellow, and after that is concatenated just as you can see. Okay, and how about the next one? Okay, the same. Okay, it's repeated the same as you can see. How about 60 quad snippet? Here I'd like to show you this structure, colors dot keys for each. Okay, it's a method, another method. I define here a map of reds colors, including red, azure, and peru, and it's repeated 3 times. Okay, this does that. I is gonna be assigned, okay, key and value, and for each time key and value will be printed out in different lines. Okay, when we run this, okay, red value this one, azure value this one, and peru value this one. Okay, how about last example? Here I define a colors map here with 3 members. Okay, and this time just I'd like to show you dot contains method here. It's a method so as to decide upon that if it is contains this member or not. If it contains, it's gonna be printed out. Okay, red is included, and just as you remember for if loop, as long as the result of this comparison is true, or other saying will give a positive result, so this branching will be performed. If it does not meet this condition, it's gonna be performed the other branch. So this is true, and the first branch will be printed out. Okay, because red is exists inside this map. And how about maroon? Maroon is does not exist inside the map, so the first line will not be performed. The second else branch will be performed. Maroon does not exist. So when we run this one, red key exists with this value, and maroon key does not exist. So we have to the end of this lesson 6 course lesson 6. We'll start with lesson 7 for the next course. Thanks for your time. Thanks for watching me, guys. Keep in peace, and please do not forget to subscribe to my channel. Thanks for watching once again. Bye bye.